take it back to a simpler time. 2015, let's get a side-by-side image. This is me now, this is me then. A lot of you have been asking me to redo my gender tag video. Why would you be asking that? Let's get that picture up there. I have no idea why you would want me to redo my gender tag video. It's not like anything's changed. I thought instead of just flat out redoing the tag, let's watch the old one together and respond to it. I feel very fortunate in my life that I have almost a moving photo book of memories, of phases of my life that I've been navigating for the last 8 years. I feel very lucky because of that. And so here's an opportunity to revisit the 2015 version of that. The instinct for me when viewing things from the past is to ridicule them and to point out the incorrectness and the fallacies of it all. But I think this is a really interesting chance to look at genuine, honest feelings, but with a new lens. So let's dive in, shall we?
So I don't normally do tag videos. It's not typically my thing. It's the gender tag. I don't really talk about gender.
It's just like I always had to sort of walk towards the camera gradually in this phase, very heavily Mike Falzone inspired.
How do you self-identify your gender, and what does that definition mean to you?
Here we go.
I identify as a male, a cisgender male, and I've always found pride in that definition because I've always wanted to establish what I call a different kind of masculinity.
Let's pause it there. I identified as a male for most of my life. In many ways, I still feel connected to that label. But I'm not a man. I identify as non-binary. For those who are unaware what that means, it means that I don't feel like I'm particularly male or particularly female. I experience that identity very fluidly. I don't feel like I fit into either of those boxes. Something interesting to note in this version of me when I said that I felt empowered by the identity of male because I wanted to champion a different kind of masculinity. That's something that was always present in my life. Always present in my life. I never felt like I fit into the male box. I never felt like that. For the longest time, I did not have the language to describe what it was that I was feeling. And then I did get the language to express that. And slowly but surely, I kind of have gone on this path that has led me to where I am now. But I find it really, really interesting that I looked at my identifying as a male as a statement. It wasn't a genuine reflection of where I was, but it was a statement. But it's much more innate than that for me. And it's really interesting because I still think that was like a really healthy way to kind of go about it and navigating all of those and asking those questions for myself. This whole process has been so gradual for me. Oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional right now, y'all. Let's keep going.
It's always been significant for me to identify as a guy because I want to change it up. I want to introduce a new way to do it.
Wow.
It's always been something that I've thought about. What are your pronouns? I use he and his. Those are my pronouns. Describe the style.
I want to say that I'm pronoun indifferent, but I'm not. Because I'm not indifferent towards it. Like, I don't want to impose on people, but I use they, them. It would be nice if you would use them.
Describe the style of clothing that you most often wear. I'm definitely on team skinny jean. Pretty much everywhere I go, I'm wearing skinny jeans, maybe a t-shirt, but sometimes I like to throw in really obnoxious patterns, like really ugly stuff that like I either hate or I love.
Yeah!
And other times I like to experiment with gendered clothing and wear things that typically guys wouldn't wear.
Well, yeah, I said that, but I really didn't. I started to do that. Skinny jeans was really the foot in the door. I was so colorful when I moved to Los Angeles. My favorite piece of clothing that I would buy would be like this like horrible, terrible Hawaiian shirt in a thrift store. That's my favorite genre of clothing at this time in my life. When I say I wanted to experiment with gender, literally that was just me trying to speak something into existence. I saw people dressing androgynously here in Los Angeles. I had just moved. And I was so envious of it. I wanted it so bad, but it still didn't feel like me. It felt scary. It felt new. But I always wanted, the desire is there. As you can see, my style is much more monochrome. It's just the color black. The first time I ever kind of took control of the way I presented myself via clothing and style to the world was like 2014. It really was that recent for me. And yeah, my clothing just kind of got tighter and tighter and tighter. I started doing my hair, trying to actively look nice and be pretty. Anytime somebody would call me pretty, I would feel so nice. Like, handsome didn't do it for me. Pretty, it does it for me every single time.
Talk about your choices with body hair. Hate having body hair. I shave it all. Shave all of it. Arms, legs, stomach, butt, everything. Shave it. Get rid of it.
Yeah, that's consistent. So the major thing that I get dysphoric about, like the thing that just messes me up gender-wise, is my facial hair. Oh God, I hate it so much. The first time I ever kind of critically thought about my gender, I was doing No Shave November in 2014. Or was it 13? One of those years. And I had been growing out my beard for 3 weeks, and I can grow a beard. It's a red beard. It is a freaking full beard that gets fluffy and beard-like. I caught my reflection in the mirror, and I was like, who is that? I felt like I completely had left my body. I did not recognize myself in the mirror, had a panic attack, shaved it off. But that was the first time I was like, yo, what's happening here? I have no issue conceptually with body hair. In fact, I'm very proud of my mammalian ancestors for passing that down to me so we could stay warm in the winters. But I do not like it now. I feel like, for me, it like pushes me over the edge where I start to look so masculine that there's not even a chance that somebody's going to see beyond that. And I know that's a kind of a sad thing to say, but that's kind of the reality of it. I'm still very socialized male. I'm still very heavily gendered male in this world. And I don't take that, like, I'm not mad at people for that. That's just it's natural to do that. Sometimes though, it makes me sad that people aren't seeing all of the things that I'm seeing within myself. And again, there's really no way for them to do that. But it's just a thing that I think about from time to time.
Talk about cosmetics. Do you wear makeup? Do you paint your nails? What types of soaps, perfumes do you use, if any? I don't wear makeup. I don't really use cosmetics. I pretty much just wash my hair and then do it. And that's pretty much it.
So obviously that's changed. Very recently that's changed. I don't know why I decided to do it, but it was like August of 2016. I was like, I'm gonna grow my hair out long. And part of the reason of me doing that was gender. The thought to myself was, I want to know what it feels like to have long hair. I would often say at work in almost like a joking manner that I wanted to be mistaken for a woman from behind, but that's not a joke. That was a real thing. And then this fall, this Halloween, I did makeup for one of my Halloween costumes, and I was like, okay, I have this makeup now. Let's start putting it on. Fell in love with a lot of makeup YouTubers that I've been watching, and yeah, I don't wear it every day because it's a lot of time spent, but I love doing it. I feel very pretty. I feel myself when I'm wearing makeup. I also started doing my nails like in the last couple months, and nails are fun. Nails are very fun. Why didn't anybody tell me how fun nails were? Funny story about nails. My sisters used to have like parties and sleepovers and stuff, and I would crash them for 2 reasons. Number 1, to flirt, and number 2, because I knew they would paint my toenails. And yeah, I loved that. Even as a little kid, I loved it, and I just recently got back into it. So yeah.
Have you ever experienced being misgendered? If so, how often? Never really in person, but over the phone all the time. I used to answer phones at my old job.
I say that I was misgendered over the phone, but I would be mistaken for a woman over the phone, and again, secretly would love it. In person, though, people generally, and to this day, they still see me as male. They use he, him pronouns unless I kind of point it out to them. It's something, being misgendered, that has not bothered me until like 3 months ago. And then it started bothering me, which I think is really interesting. And I've talked to a few trans friends of mine about this because I felt very weird. It's like, this is not something that has ever been a problem in my life, but it's a problem now. And is this real? Am I creating this? Is this something that's going on in my head? And yeah, it's in my head. But what it is that I have reached a point in my life where I'm accepting this aspect of myself. And I'm proud of that. And I love that. And I want more of that feeling. And when somebody does the opposite of that, or kind of reverts back to ways of being referred to that have worked in the past, the past isn't working now. And that's all that is. It's not that this is a problem that I've created out of nowhere. It's that this is a new problem that has revealed itself as myself has revealed themselves to myself. Oh God, that didn't make sense. To answer the question now though, yeah, I do get misgendered every single day of my life. And it's not something that I'm gonna take up arms and get angry about. More like a mild upset, wishing that people could just see beyond the binaries and the labels that are prescribed to people and just see me as I am. There's been a few times where people have done that, and it's just felt very, very special. And it's just in really small gestures, but really, really special when that happens.
Do you experience dysphoria? How does that affect you? I would say that I don't really experience dysphoria. I think the closest thing that has ever happened to me in that regard is last year.
I'm about to tell the story of the facial hair, which we already have told in this video. Yeah, I don't know how to define the feelings that I feel. I generally describe things as like a dysphoria because I don't really know. I don't have much of a language for that. Sometimes things about the way that I look don't feel like they match with how I want to present myself. And I feel like that's a universal experience, I think, regardless of gender. I think gender is a very specific version of that. But I think for a lot of people, we don't look the way that we would want to look. And sometimes we feel trapped by that. Oh my gosh, I did not expect to like be this emotional about this. Wow, I thought I was just gonna have a silly fun time comparing baby me's understanding of my own gender to now. But this is really profound. Holy crap.
Talk about children. Are you interested in having children? I'm not really thinking about having kids right now. In my mind, I would like that to be a two-person conversation and decision. I mean, you can be by yourself and raise kids. So many people do it. My mom did it, and it works fine. But I would prefer if I had another person to do that with.
True. That's a question that it's like I want to avoid because, like, yeah, I do want children. I think I love the idea of having a child, especially a biological one, but any kind of child. There's a lot in my life that I have to get over first before I can even consider that as an option. So I'm just going to wait that out and just continue doing me, and we'll get to that when we get there.
Talk about money. Is it important to you to provide for a family financially if you choose to have one? Is it important to you that you earn more than any partner you may have? I think, in my mind, it's important that I help.
I don't think my views on this have changed at all. Like, money's important. Let's not kid ourselves here. From a providence perspective, like, I would love to give the people in my life the best life possible. Right now, it's just me and the cat, and I'm just giving the cat the best life possible, ideally. Do you love me? Socks, wake up! Socks, we're talking about gender.
Anything else you want to share about your experience with gender?
No, I'm excited about this part.
Why not? My experience with gender has been relatively straightforward up until about a year and a half ago as I started discovering different sides of myself with sexuality, but also with my gender expression. My gender itself, like how I identify, has never really felt like an issue to me. It's always been pretty solid, and I'm pretty happy and content to identify.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Yeah. Wow. Thoughts about my gender experience. It's just the shrug emoticon. Does that work? Around the time I came out as bisexual, the entire world of the LGBT community opened up to me. And I am eternally grateful for that, for the reception that I had. And what that did as well is it opened me up to people living all kinds of realities. And some of these people were living realities that I was naturally drawn to. I just remember being in awe of androgyny. I remember looking at people and just being so like infatuated by it. And I couldn't really put to words what it was because it wasn't a romantic thing. It wasn't a sexual thing. I just was drawn to people doing that. I just wanted to pick their brains and talk to them so much about different things. I had a couple friends from high school who came out as trans as well. And I just was so happy for them, and I wanted to talk to them and just enjoy them and all that kind of stuff. And as I was exposed to the language of being trans, of being non-binary, of the gender identity spectrum and all of that, I started asking myself questions, and I'm still asking myself questions every single day. It's scary. I don't know where the road ends, but I'm committed to asking those questions because for me, it's important that I live authentically. In order for me to be the best, healthiest version of myself, I have to be the best, healthiest version of myself. This has nothing to do with attention or views on the internet or any of those other things that I've been accused of in utilizing this identity. I'm not hopping on a trend to like I've been called a trans trender, and none of that is why I'm doing this. These are feelings that I have always felt inside of me, and just never knew how to explain them until very, very recently. One thing I'm incredibly grateful for is my job. I just started wearing makeup one day at work, and nobody commented on it. In fact, anything that was said was positive. Show up wearing heels and friggin' high-waisted skinny jeans, and nobody bats an eye at it. They're just like, that's Connor. That's who it is. And I feel very lucky to be in that environment because I know that a lot of people in similar situations to me feeling similar things are not in that environment. And for those people, I want to say that I am a resource and I love you, and my inboxes are always open. I am so emo right now. Oh, I did not expect to get this emotional with this video. I think this emotional response is just simply a reflection on how nice things have been with how I view myself recently. And I just want to thank everyone who's supported me. Because y'all are great. I'm gonna get off of here before I start flipping crying on you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope it made sense. I'm loathing editing and syncing all of that up because I do not like video editing, ironically. I'm looking to have some bonus videos going up on Patreon in the next couple weeks. I'm gonna be going home, so I'm gonna try and film a bunch of stuff with family around house. There's a lot of dogs there, so please stay tuned here and also on Patreon and all my other social networks. Y'all are the best. I love you so much, and I'm gonna see you guys next time. Bye.